Hey everybody, welcome back. Hey y'all, sorry if I seem a little off today, but I'm not feeling too well today. I haven't been feeling well these past couple of 3 days. I'm pretty sure I'm in a pretty good flare right now. Um, if so many of you know that if you have this disease, my joints ache really bad. Like I almost feel like I have the flu. Like I just got the flu and I ache all over and I just don't feel good. I just don't feel good. I'll feel tired, but I just overall just don't feel good. Um, but I wanted to still come on here and I wanted to talk to y'all and say hi and appreciate y'all stopping by and chatting with me today. Man, oh man, has it been a week? I'm telling you, one of these days I'm gonna come on here and I'm hopefully not gonna say it's been a week. Last Saturday, we live here in the Midwest. And last Saturday, where we live, we got caught up in the tornadoes. And we were sitting around, and it was close to midnight. We were honestly getting ready to go to bed in just a few moments, and all of a sudden, our cell phones went off because we live out here in the country. Our cell phones went off saying tornado warning, and we didn't even know it was raining. I mean, we had honestly didn't even know it was raining. We have a metal roof, and but we had the TV on, and we just didn't even know it was raining. So we click off the alarms and um, we got on the cell phone and we're trying to see, exactly. My husband's looking at the weather channel to look at the radar, and it wasn't really showing anything where we were at. And I'm subscribed to the local county thing, and so anyway, I got on the like a local news channel because we don't have local channels where we live because, like I said, we live out in a rural area, and I was streaming it and it showed that there was a tornado on the ground in the closest town right that we actually quote live in, but we're rural, which was about 8 miles or so away, and it was moving our direction. So we quickly, I mean, you talk about quickly, we have a tub, like a bucket, 5 gallon bucket like thing, not 5 gallons but like that we keep water and cat food and uh some non-perishable, little bit of non-perishable food and stuff in there, and then I keep I some of my pills in there, and but and we have flashlights and all that stuff in there, so we have that all ready to go. It's already packed up. So we had to grab their cats real quick, throw them in their carriers. We do have a tornado shelter, storm shelter in our backyard, and so it's like I said, it's midnight and it's pouring down rain. And I've never been in this shelter that we have in our backyard because we just bought this house in September of last year. And I honestly didn't even know if I could even climb down in it. But so we went out anyway. We ran out there, and I was able to get down in there. And we sat down in there until we were watching the meteorologist stream on the news feed. And I mean, we were getting cell reception. I mean, it was really amazing, even underground. So anyway, it poured. It was pouring. We were soaking wet. I mean, the poor cats didn't even know what happened to them, and we were all soaking wet. But we didn't care. Everything above ground has insurance on it, and we were all safe. The cats were safe. The only thing was our chickens, and but we were praying, and I mean, we were praying, but we knew that everything, everything we own's got insurance on it, and it didn't matter. What was important was in that hole. The chickens were too, but there was no way I was going to be able to wrangle 7 chickens. So anyway, we waited. Oh, we stayed down there about 30 minutes or so, and it poured. The wind blowed everything. We got some pea-sized hail, and after it turned and it started moving away from us. It wasn't continuing to come up towards us. It turned and went a different direction. So after it was, my husband felt it was far enough away and we were safe, we came out and came back up into the house. Of course, it's pitch black, it's dark. Um, but we never lost power, and that we know of. But what time we came back in the house, we still had power and everything. And but anyway, we didn't have any damage, no damage at all, just a couple of leaves on the ground, but no broken trees. And I was sitting there thinking, I was like, oh my gosh, we just brought this camper home on Tuesday. And, and I was like, well, it's got insurance. If it lays on its side, it's got insurance. But anyway, but we didn't have any damage. We were very fortunate, very, very blessed to be okay. And because the people in the town, my heart goes out to them because it wasn't, a lot of people lost power. The electric companies had a lot of power lines that snapped, and there were some people that lost their roofs, and they had some significant damage to the house. But it was more trees and power lines than houses. But still, it's still I still feel sorry for them, and my heart goes out to them. Still a mess. And but our little gauge thing, we have a weather or tells us the temperature and the rainfall and the wind speed. I was looking on it, and in the month of May, we've gotten right at 8.96 inches, right at 9 inches of rain just in the month of May. So we are saturated. I mean, saturated. Um, so, yeah, that was a little stressful. That was very stressful. Very, very stressful. And so we came in, and of course, it took a couple hours to calm down, to wind down, before we went to sleep and all that stuff. Got up the next day, doing pretty good. I wasn't too bad. I was honestly not too bad. I was expecting to, after that much of a stressful thing, but I really wasn't too bad. Then that was, so that would have been Sunday. And then Monday we did some work here at the house. Not a whole lot. It's trying to go through things and get prices on everything and stuff so we can have our garage sales and start selling all of our things that we have. We worked on that, and then Tuesday, my daughter wanted to go to the big city, what we call the big city, and it was about 2 hours or so away. So we drove down there and spent the day there, and we came back, and we took her little car, so I was in the back seat and getting in and out of the back seat. And so I did pretty good. I got tired. I ended up walking. I had my watch on. We ended up walking about 7,000 steps that day, which is extremely a lot for me. But I did take good breaks in between riding in the car. We had, and I was getting tired at the end, and my legs were starting to get sore and stuff, and my back. But I was being a trooper and still doing pretty good. And I got up the next day, and my knee was so sore. It wasn't like sore in my knee, but it was sore like at the base if you push on it. And the only thing that I could think of was that it was the way that I was getting in and out of her car, because that was the leg that was the first out and the last in. And so that was the only thing I could come up and think about. And I was like, okay, well, I need to either alternate the sides each time I get in and out, or do something, or be in the front seat where I can swing out. But the next day I was really tired, which I knew I would be. I knew I would be very tired that day. And I still wasn't feeling too bad, but I was very tired. And then Thursday, we stayed home Wednesday, and then Thursday I had to run back to town to pick up some medicine from the pharmacy and a few groceries, not much. So my daughter and I ran into town real quick, and we wasn't gone but a couple of hours. But when I woke up yesterday, I just felt really bad. I mean, really bad. I was tired. Like I said, I was hurting all over like I had the flu, and I was just feeling bad. And I thought, okay, I've pushed myself too far. I've done too much without enough adequate rest in between, and I've set a flare off. And I thought, well, maybe I'll wake up today and I'll feel better. But no, I don't. I'm still not feeling good at all. But I've hopefully maybe tomorrow, because you just don't know. I mean, I could wake up tomorrow and feel perfectly fine, like nothing's happened, and my fine, not normal, but my fine, and have energy, and be okay, but I could wake up tomorrow and be worse. That's what's so bad about this disease. And that's what's so bad about when I make plans to do something. I never know. I'm like, I pray in 3 days I'm able to get up and go. I'm hoping I can get up and do that, because you wake up. I've had this happen before. I've woke up, went to bed fine, woke up, couldn't walk. Took me 3 months to be able to walk again. I've gone to bed perfectly fine and woke up the next day and I feel like I've been ran over by a truck and I feel like crap. But I've also gone to bed feeling really bad and woke up the next morning and felt fine. That's what sucks about this disease. It sucks. It sucks because you do not know within a 24-hour period how you're going to feel. And it's so, I don't say stressful, but you just hate to have to keep disappointing people because you make plans and then you wake up and you can't go. And it does make you feel a little isolated because you don't want to make plans for anything because you're afraid you're going to disappoint people. And it's a struggle, and I'm working on it. I'm working to get better about not feeling guilty if I can't go. I'm working on getting better about saying, hey, I just don't feel like going. I'm sorry. And I'm also working on not planning so much. I'm a planner. I am a planner. But I'm working on not planning so much. Just kind of how, and when I do plan, holding those plans very, very loosely because giving myself leeway to not be able to go. And it's getting better and I'm getting better at that, but I'm not there. But I am working on that because I have to give myself more grace. And otherwise I just feel guilty all the time. And I beat myself up or I push myself, and all of those are not good. But we made it through, and I've made it through the week. It's the campers. We haven't done anything with it. It's been a week. My husband went back to work after vacation um, Thursday, and he's done tonight. But he's got some stuff he's got to do. But he's got to still get a few things to try to get the ramp, figure out a way to get a ramp in there for me. But finally got our house finished in Kansas. We got it sold, but we weren't getting the money from the title company, and that took like a week and a half to finally get them to pay us. But we did get paid, and so that's totally over. We can write that one off the list and erase that one from the board, because I'm trying really, really hard to simplify my life, extremely simplify my life, which is one of the reasons why we're doing what we're doing. But I gotta tell y'all, this past week, I don't know why, but it's like, I guess because of sitting in the driveway and we're starting to price things, so it's becoming more of a reality. And I was talking to my daughter about this the other night, and I was like, I'm pretty much saying goodbye to the only person I've ever known and the only way of life I've ever known. And I'm going to come out on the other side a different person. I'm still going to be me, but I'm going to come out the other side living a life and things that are different than what I've always known. And I told her, I said, it's scary. It's really scary because I'm like, what if I don't like that person? And I know that won't happen, but my mind does wander, And y'all, I got Amazon turning down the street, but I don't know if I've got anything coming today or not. I'll tell you in a sec. Nope, I don't have anything coming today. I order a lot of stuff from Amazon, but anyway, I told her, I said, it's really scary. But I know I'm gonna like the other person. I know I'm gonna like the other life. But wow, I'm 52 years old, and when I've only lived this one life for so long, my whole life. That's all I know. And yeah, but y'all are gonna be with me, and I'm gonna take you guys along. And like I said, the good, the bad, the ugly. I'm gonna share it with you, and I'm gonna be honest about it. And like I said, but I'm believing that it's gonna be good. I'm believing that it's gonna be a great thing for me and my health, and I'm going to create a life for myself that's going to embrace my illness and my disease, and that's going to allow me to live a fulfilling and satisfying life with it, instead of trying to fit it into a world that it no longer fits in. And that's the way my life is now. My disease doesn't fit into this life anymore. My disease does not fit into the life that we have. I can't remodel houses and build houses and work on a farm and do all that stuff anymore like I've done my whole life. I just can't do it. So rather than sitting around watching life go by that I can't live in, and I feel like a prisoner, just set out to pasture to die, I believe I'm going to have a life that I can actually live and feel fulfilled and satisfied and enjoy. And that's what I'm looking forward to. But the process is pretty scary. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry. But it is pretty scary because I don't know what that's going to be. I don't know what that life's going to be. But I'm excited to a degree, but I am also a little scared about it. But I'm believing it's going to be good. And I uh, I gotta tell y'all another story. I went to the pharmacy to pick up my medicine, and the technician, he's like, "Do you know how much this costs?" And I was like, "No." I said, "It's always been zero copay." And he told me it was like $125 or something like that. He said, "For your cream." And I said, "What cream? I don't have any cream." I didn't. I said, "I don't have any cream." Well, I guess my rheumatology doctor had called in this cream for me. And he said, normally it was like almost $1,000. So with your insurance, it's really not that bad. And I said, "I'm not paying. I can't afford $100 something for a tube of cream." And I told him, I said, I don't want that." Well, earlier this week, I got like 4 or 5 calls from that clinic, and they called me really early in the morning before I wake up, so I wasn't, I wasn't getting it. One day they happened to call later in the day, and I answered the phone, and she said that because they had called me that I had been approved for the infusions, but the infusions on the medical side was on the pharmacy. Yeah, the pharmacy side was almost 2,000 an infusion. On the medical side was over 500. And I told him, I said, I can't do that. I can't afford that. And I already told her that because I did this about a year ago. So anyway, so when they called me, they said, "Well, we know that, you couldn't do that. So she wanted you to get on, I think, like sulfaziazide or whatever. I know it's the cousin to leflutamide, sulfaziazide or something like that." And I told her, I said, "No." I said, "I'm not doing any biologics. I'm just not going to do it." I said, "I've been on the leflutamide, which is his cousin. I didn't fare well, and I'm just not going to do it." And was telling my husband, I said, there's 3 parts to this. There's 3 parts. The one part is the doctor who knows the drugs and the treatments and all that stuff. Then there's the second part, the person who has to pay for them. Then there's the third part, the person who has to actually take the medicine and endure the effects of the medicine. And I told my husband, I said, 2 out of 3 is me. So I have the deciding vote. And I'm like, I understand there's all these treatments, and I understand that it's the doctor's job to heal. That's their job. And I appreciate that and I commend that. But they need to respect that someone's got to pay for it and someone has to live through it. And both of those happen to be me. But I know that they get upset because in their eyes, you don't want to get better. And that's not true. Would like to get better, but I don't, I got to be able to afford it and pay for it. I don't want to start something that I can only do maybe one time. Because it's worse when you take a treatment, then you stop it, especially on biologics. I've been there and done that. But the other part is I don't see any point in me taking a treatment that may or may not help my skin or my joints, but yet at the same time, in 3, 5 years, 10 years, whatever, or 1 year, whatever, if I'm sick, if I'm tired all the time, if I don't feel good, or if it ruins my liver or my kidneys or anything else, what's the point? What's the point of doing one thing if it's going to create 10 more problems? No, thank you. I would rather just do nothing and learn to create a life the best I can with what I have. And that's what I'm doing. I'm making life choices, and I'm doing it that way because that's not a major drug that I'm putting inside my system, because my disease won't kill me. Does it take away my quality of life? Yeah, it does. It sucks, and it does. But this drug over here promises to give me my quality of life back, but I've tried 4 or 5 of them, and every one of them didn't. What it did, it might have made my skin clear up, but I was too sick to get out of bed. It might have made my joints feel okay, but I slept for 6 out of 7 days. What's the point? What's the point if you do one thing if it makes 10 others go bad? No, thank you. So I'm just right now, I said, no, I'm not doing any of that. I'm going to try to change my lifestyle, simplify my life, try to get rid of some stress in my life, and just see what I can do. If I have to down the road do something like that, yeah, I'll do it if I have to. I'm not I I will. But right now I don't have to. And right now I just don't want to. I'm tired of taking pills, and I'm tired of putting all this stuff in my system. And I'm not saying I'm going to do all this holistic stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. But I am just don't want to put all that powerful, powerful biologics in my system. I just don't. When you've got to do a crap ton of blood work and monitor my liver every few weeks to make sure it's okay, hello, that's a warning sign that that's not a good thing for me. That's not good. I got to have my liver to live, you know, and I'm doing the best I can with the quality of life that I have, and I am still staying active. I know that their fear is that you're not going to stay active, and God forbid you're going to sit around and do nothing. And oh, even worse, you might gain a few pounds. Oh, whoopee. And it's like, oh my gosh. So you'd rather kill me just so that, you know, no, thank you. I'll take care of myself. I do stay active. I do keep going. It's not like it used to be, and it's not is what a normal person is by any means. But I do still keep going, and I do watch my intake, and I do watch my weight, and I do take care of myself, but I'm not terrified of a pound either. You know, I know the world we live in, and it sucks, but it's like, seriously, I'm not normal. Don't treat me like I'm normal. I'm not like everybody else. But anyway, sorry, I digress a little bit on that. But so I'm like, no biologics. No means no. Don't keep calling me in all these drugs and pills and creams and all that stuff. I said no biologics. I just don't want it right now. So, but anyway, but that's where it's at right now. And but it's been an eventful week, y'all, and I hope y'all's week's going good too. I mean, I hope it's not been as eventful as mine. I really do, because I kind of want an uneventful one myself. No tornadoes or problems that I have to fight, and I'm just ready to not be an adult for a little while and just not do the adulting thing. But for right now, I have to. But anyway, listen, y'all, I'm gonna jump off of here. Like I said, I'm just not feeling too good, and I just wanted to, y'all kind enough to come by and chat with me, and I just didn't want to be rude, and I wanted to just have a chat and just tell you everything that's been going on, and about my tornado situation, how I did get down in the shelter, so I do know I can get in there and back out. I hope I don't ever have to go back down in there again, but if I do, I know I can do it. But anyway, but listen, everybody, please just take care of yourself, and hopefully next week I'll be feeling better and things will be a little bit better. But until then, take care, keep trying, don't give up, and be an advocate for yourself, and don't be afraid to say no and stand up to them. Don't be afraid. You know you better than anybody else, and you do what you need to do to take care of you. Not It has nothing to do with anybody else. You do you. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to do you. And don't be afraid to stand up and say, hey, you know what? No, I don't want that right now. I don't. It's okay. Don't be afraid. Trust me. I used to be, and I've popped a lot of drugs in my body, and I had a lot of blood drawn, and I've done a lot of things, and I finally said, no, I don't want that. That's poison. It's poison, and I don't want that. But anyway, like I said, y'all listen, take care, and I will definitely see you guys next week. And until then, I, just stay safe, and everybody enjoy your weather wherever you're at, like we are. And I'll see you soon. Bye bye.